yeah, more and more, I think what I love about having music in my life is that I really appreciate being able to give people a night. And from everything from sort of choosing a venue that you love to decorating the set and curating the musicians and curating a set list and thinking about the whole experience and then inviting people in.
Well, welcome, Georgia. Thanks for being part of these three questions. This is
Max.
Oh, pleasure. This is Georgia Mooney, a great singer-songwriter who is part of All My Exes Live in Texas, and then the SUPERGROUP, and also you got a new podcast, I believe, was absolutely marvellous.
Simply marvellous.
Oh, Simply Marvellous, sorry. If you're going to do a second one, you can call it that.
Yeah, I think absolutely marvellous makes it sound a bit better than it is. It's only simply.
Yeah,
I don't know, it's simple.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah, well, welcome. It's nice to catch up too. It's been years.
I know. I think it actually has been years.
Yeah. Let's not try to think about how many years. We'll give away our ages.
Yeah, we've aged.
Well, I have. I'm not sure if you have.
I've stayed the same age, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, nice. So it's that lighting that you have.
Yeah. Yeah. It's those headlights.
Yeah.
Just outside, positioned at the window.
The first question is, why do you have music in your life?
Yes. It's strange how hard this question is to answer. It's sort of, it's funny. I think, I decided as a kid that I wanted to be a musician, or maybe it was just that I wanted to be in showbiz, you know. I loved singing and dancing and choir and, dress ups and art and sort of expressing myself through those things. And I think ultimately, it was about fun. And I wonder sometimes, when we have why we sort of stick with our childhood dreams and persist with them, whether or not we are simply kind of continuing to explore and learn about those passions, or we sort of have a bit of an obligation to our younger self, in a way. I sort of sometimes feel like that, but at the same time, obviously, the older I get, the more I love music, and I think still probably it comes down to it probably being about fun, and but as well as catharsis and expression of self, and really nothing else makes me feel as satisfied or as productive or as fulfilled as when I've worked on music, when I've worked on a song. But I think now, like especially in the last few years, touring so much, and the reason why I love it is sort of changing as well, and the fact that music allows you to go places and travel to places where you probably wouldn't necessarily plan to go, and play shows and meet people and sort of fill life with little stories and adventures. I feel like that's what, to me, kind of makes a life well lived, is having a collection of little stories and adventures, and even more and more, I think what I love about having music in my life is that putting on a show, I really appreciate being able to give people a night, so kind of give people an experience, like create and from everything from sort of choosing a venue that you love to decorating the set and curating the musicians and curating a set list and thinking about the whole experience, and then inviting people in, and that exchange between performers and audience is so mutual, it's so equal, I think I really value that now. The sort of the community connection, just as much as I value, the actually writing music and playing and the sort of all the self-indulgent bits. I think that's the thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you're talking about traveling and the stories. I mean, it's a really nice way. Yeah, you do the traveling and you get all these great stories, and then you can put them into the music, which you then tour and you get more stories. And it's very different to another job where you just go there and you do your business and leave. You might have some stories, but then you don't have a way you can't then tour those stories when you do it. You just go to another conference and, hey, guess what happened to me? It's not the same as being able to communicate that through the art form.
Yeah, totally. And I think it's the unexpectedness of those stories as well. It's the going to the towns that you'd maybe not even heard of, and when you're going somewhere to play music, people kind of immediately open up to you and more than if you're a tourist. It's sort of like you can connect with people on a sort of deeper level immediately, and
because you're giving just as much as you're receiving as well. I mean, as a tourist, you just go in there and like take in the sights, and then and then leave. But when you go somewhere, people are very, you're giving them something, so they're much more willing to open up and share their town and their venue or their home. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously it's a real privilege to be able to travel and and learn so much. I feel it's the best job ever.
Yeah, and you're talking about sort of curating a space, making the space, that's sort of, I guess it kind of goes back to a lot of us in childhood where you sort of you make a show or you write a song, and then you make a little set in your lounge room, and then you make the audience, your family, come in and watch you. It's sort of now you're just doing that as a grown up. So nothing has changed.
No, still make my family come.
That's right. And maybe you have less budget now.
Yeah. But I do love that. Because I like the feeling that music gives everybody an escape for an evening, and so it's not just entirely selfish. You can have and I don't know, that magical thing about when you're in a group of people and you're all sharing something together and you're laughing and feelings. Maybe it's particularly because at the moment, I mean, you're in paradise, so you've got gigs, but particularly it's sort of that feeling is really heightened because it's not been possible for so long. So I think maybe that's made me realise how special it is as well.
And also I think in this current state, sort of going back to seeing a lot more like smaller, intimate gigs, for one reason being that you can't have lots of people at gigs, but going back to that smaller, intimate way of experiencing music, I mean, because it's the best. It's compared to you sit up the back of a huge arena or something and just watch a screen. You compare when the musicians are just over there. But you're going back to those smaller, intimate, just sitting in a room and listening to musicians play, that close. So maybe there'll be a resurgence of more intimate live music, hopefully.
I think so, and a bit more appreciation for how valuable it is.
These special little gems.
Yeah.
So the second question is, how do you make music?
Well, another question that could be taken in any way. I like it. I think I make music. I like to be very alone. I'm definitely a solitary songwriter, and especially for that first part, you know, I love collaborating with people when I've got a song worked out, and then it's about bringing in all of the, you know, musicians, their talents and the things that they can add and the things that I can't think of. But in terms of writing a song, I really like being very alone. I find co-writing quite uncomfortable, and I think it's partly because I feel an obligation to sort of give my purest, sort of most unfiltered self to writing or to music, and that's a very vulnerable position to be in. And it's kind of part of the sort of therapy of writing music, and that catharsis is being alone with yourself and really having time for very focused contemplation and experimentation and making a million mistakes and trying really hard and just having thinking space. I like as well removing myself from my normal world, so I find it most inspiring if I go away somewhere and kind of just take some instruments and some recording stuff and do not be distracted by my normal day-to-day life and sort of even going really far away and being immersed in a different world, or maybe even a different culture, and kind of get really whimsical. I find that headspace really valuable.
And do you take sort of does that happen by accident, or do you remove yourself intentionally? It's like, okay, I need to do writing now. I'm going to spend however long and go and do that, or is it just like, I'm away from everything and then inspiration hits? How does that work?
Yeah, no, I think I have to like carve out time, and so because I'm not. I've always been so impressed by people who can do bits of writing every day, or do write while they're away on tour. I find that really hard.
Yeah, too many distractions.
Yeah. So I kind of I'll sort of like set aside 2 or 3 weeks or a couple of months even, and go away somewhere and have a sabbatical. That and then I like to do it like a sort of like 9 to 5 and get really focused. And I mean, I also do lots of listening and go for walks and write lyrics in parks, that kind of thing. But I do think that one of the really special things about working in music and being a songwriter is that you are allowed to dedicate so much time to just letting your mind wander and following it where it goes. And that's kind of rare to have a job where you can just be sitting and thinking and getting carried away with your thoughts and have no rules, you know?
Yeah, it does seem very indulgent.
It does.
When you do it, it's like, oh no, I'm supposed to be doing this.
Yeah.
This is the actual work. But
yeah.
But it is. I mean, it's also hard. It is hard to stay focused as well, just in the current, technology, and like your phone blings and then
so hard,
all those things. But yeah, you have to just. I think removing yourself from the normal environment is a really good way of doing that.
Yeah, and you do have to be diligent. It's hard. It's hard work. Focusing is hard.
Yeah, I know. You think, 4 weeks away and just thinking about stuff. I mean, it sounds so relaxing, but it's actually, I mean, I've only done sort of a week of that sort of thing, and it's really stressful because you kind of staying focused and with your own thoughts is harder than it appears.
Totally. I think, it's probably taken me years to also realize, to like work out how your brain works, and that, I sort of know now that it takes, I can be doing things that are helpful, but like listening and thinking and focusing a bit, but probably never until like 2:00 in the afternoon that I actually am getting productive stuff done. Or, you know, if you know how you work, then you can use your time wisely and not be thinking, okay, I have to be really productive for a full day. Otherwise I've let myself down.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can still be doing things, even just being away and having time off from the rest of life is kind of, it all sort of filters in.
Does it take you long to get into that headspace? Because I know for me, to get into the writing headspace, it takes a few days just to sort of get in the zone and in the habit of writing. You can't just like, I've got 15 minutes off, great, I'm going to write some music. Go.
Yeah, exactly.
And then do it inside.
Yeah, that's totally, I think, why I do need to go away for a chunk of time, because I can't switch my brain that quickly. I sort of need the travel time to get there, and then to, you know, go for a walk, and then, you know, I really need to get in the zone. So it all sounds extremely wanky, and it is. But I do find it too hard to get in the writing headspace unless I'm actively taking myself away and giving myself a lot of space to do that. But,
and are you? I mean, this is kind of it's like when people, do you write chords or melodies first? But do you have a sort of a go-to process? Are you a lyric person first, or does it?
Yeah, it can't. I mean, it sort of changes, but and depends a bit. But I tend to fiddle around on an instrument for a while and find the chords, and then find the melody over the top, and sing a gibberish melody, and then sort of work out what the song feels like it's about, and slip the lyrics in. But I'm also write lyrics separately to things all the time, so I have a little notebook which I write lyrics in, and sometimes a song comes from a lyric idea, a sense of what kind of song I want that to be and how I want that to sound, or a melody or something like that. So it's a bit mixed up, really. But probably generally speaking, I start with the chords.
Right.
Yeah. What about you?
This is not about me.
Do you write songs with words sometimes, Mace?
I have written. I used to when I was playing in the old. I had a punk band for many years. Yeah, I was fully sick. But I just wrote a song recently that has lyrics, and it's the first one in like probably 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. Well, that's not that exciting, but it exists.
It is. Yeah.
Not in any recorded form, but it's I've written them down, and maybe one day it will be revealed. I don't know.
What's it about?
Can't say.
Yeah, no, it's no in question.
That's right. Yeah.
It's too.
As I said, this is not about me. You turn that around very quickly. I'm feeling incredibly uncomfortable.
I'm sorry, Beth. Now you know how I feel.
Yeah, exactly. All right, third question. Let's change the subject.
Okay.
The third question is what excites you musically right now?
Lots of things. I won a dulcimer in a raffle. And here it is.
Best raffle ever.
Yeah, it was really good. Okay. Oh, I blue tacked it to the table.
Wow.
Isn't it nice? Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And I've become obsessed with it. And I don't know, something about having a new instrument that I've not really, I wasn't expecting to get to know has been really inspiring. And because it's just so lovely, I feel like I don't I almost want to keep it a secret because I don't know why more people don't play the dulcimer, because it's just so pretty, and it's not that hard. Like everything sounds nice.
Right.
So I've been writing a lot of songs on that, which is really fun because also the way that it works is that it's three pairs of strings, and the fretboard is diatonic. So see, and you can change you tune it in all different ways, and then you've got all different sort of interesting things happening. So you can get really lovely chords, and it just sounds so nice and dreamy. And of course, it reminds me of Joni Mitchell, and because she's got it on a lot of her songs. So I'm finding that very inspiring, writing songs on that instrument, and you automatically, changing instruments automatically kind of leads you in a different direction based on
totally.
Not just the tuning or the
or even your restrictions on the instrument.
But also the sound, just the the way that the dulcimer lends itself to sort of singing in a particular way, I really like. And so at the moment I'm sort of writing some songs on piano and some on dulcimer and some on mandolin, and I'm excited by the different places that sort of takes me. And then what else excites me? Another thing is that sort of been, I suppose, exploring my voice a bit more as an instrument, in the sense that I used to have more of a sense that you found your own vocal sound, and that's the sound of your voice, and that's therefore how you sing on everything. Which sounds a bit simplistic and daft, but I'm I'm sort of kind of really getting to know my voice more, or listening to singing even more closely, and how like the smallest change in, and maybe it's doing a lot of home recording because I'm not traveling around and I'm not playing shows. I'm spending a lot more time at home singing into a microphone and listening back to myself all the time. The smallest change in delivery or in sound can have sort of such a huge impact on the way it's received, and I'm really enjoying that. And also, the idea of making an album where you can each song you can use your voice in a different way. I think there's a singer called Aldous Harding who does that in a really beautiful way, and sort of like characters within your voice, and maybe it's also a feeling of like being just bored of my own sound, but just sort of trying to I'm finding that quite fun, because just the smallest things make a huge difference.
What kind of things are you talking about?
Well, everything, like just phrasing, tone, doubling or tripling vocals, or and then of course all the effects, and then just intention in the delivery, articulation. There's so many things that you can do with singing that sometimes it's easy to forget about them. I suppose I'm focusing on that because I'm trying to make an album that I was meant to record in LA in May, but there was a little virus thing. Anyway, don't look into it. Right. But
don't read the news. Don't read the news.
Anyway, things change, and so now I'm still working with that producer over there, and we're attempting to do the album long distance, which is kind of presenting a whole new creative challenge, like in the sense of everything, because there's going to be musicians all around the world in their various studios and home studios adding their bits. So we thought, why not embrace the kind of long distance thing and get people all over the place, and that can kind of be really nice, in that, like, my friend in Dublin or my friend in Berlin can play on the album, where I never would have thought that they would be able to do that. but it makes you think. You have to really focus on how to piece it together, and about the arranging, and a production stuff as well, like in terms of what, I'm not going to have control over this necessarily, the space and the sound, like their recording setup and all that kind of thing. So kind of embracing that, and I don't know, hopefully it'll be an interesting challenge.
Yeah, I mean, because you usually think, okay, we're all going to get in a room. You pick the room that you love the sound of. You get in, and it's like, oh, I'd love to get that person from Dublin, but that's impossible because they're over there, and there's a whole set of challenges there because you want certain people, but you can't have them in the room together. But now it opens up a lot more possibilities, but then adds a whole bunch more complications.
Yeah. Even just in the sense of, because I'm recording my guide tracks here at the moment, and then thinking, okay, so what goes on next, and then
dulcimer, obviously.
Yeah.
It's going to be like 15 layers of dulcimer.
Yeah. And they'll be like, Georgia, there's actually no room for anything else.
That's fine.
But I also really kind of like the idea of getting a little musical letter in the post, and it's sort of like, ooh, it sounds like that, and that's sort of like that little flavour, and adding it all to the recipe, and seeing what delicious meal comes out of the end. I don't know why I went in that weird analogy, but we'll see. It could go tits up. I don't know.
Yeah.
What else?
If it does, you should call the album that.
Tits up.
Just embrace it. Yeah. This is terrible.
Great album name.
Enjoy.
It's not a bad punk band name.
Yeah.
I'm into it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Did that answer the question vaguely?
It totally did. It totally did. It answered all the questions. But thank you. That was really
That's nice.
It was really interesting. Nice to hear your perspective on the three questions, and really nice to catch up.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, take care, and hopefully see you soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.